Welcome in Irish Nation to the Golden Dawn. It's Ursuline player profile time. Jy'Quise Liason here, Ursuline wide receiver, defensive back, return specialist, kind of doing it all. Thanks for joining me. And you had a big win, a kind of abbreviated win last week. I'm sure you were, as most people were, kind of thrown off by it getting called. But I mean, a win's a win, and it was a pretty dominating win for as much as you guys played. Kind of talk me through that and how it kind of went for the whole team and yourself. And what's it like, facing a team that they won state a few years ago? They have that mentality. Maybe they weren't as talented this year as they had been in the past, but that's a culture that's instilled. And no matter what their talent level is, they're always going to play hard. And I'm sure you guys saw that in the field against them.
After like first drive, they did a good one. Came got some stops, passed the ball. It's a hard part getting. It's kind of mad.
Right. Especially when you're up 27-0, you want to keep, exactly. If you put a goose egg on the board for 4 quarters, and like Coach Rudin mentioned, since 2006 they hadn't been shut out. And technically, in accounts, I mean, you guys played a quarter and a half of football, like all 3 phases, special teams, defensive, offense, and everything was on par. The only thing you guys really didn't have was an onside kick recovery, which seems to be that trick of our Coach Rudin. But you guys have East this week, conference opener. You played against them multiple times, and this is the last year in Steel Valley for you guys, but it's also your last year here anyway. But how is that feeling going into a rivalry game? I mean, yeah, it's not your biggest rival, as people say, but it's still a huge game for you guys.
It's a really good round though. Like the past few years, they've been good, but like I said, it's projected the other 2-1, big schools. I think it's going to be a big. That's like 2-1.
Right. Coach Jordan talked about how he wants all the players to be critical of their mistakes, because obviously you can see all the good things you did, all the highlights and whatnot, but it obviously matters the most when you correct the mistakes. So when you kind of go back to game from Saturday and you check off each play, what you did right or did wrong, what do you see yourself when you think, okay, I'm doing this well, but I'm also going to improve on, like, what else? You know what I'm saying?
I would say, like, a coach just critical running to the ball, even if I'm also getting running to the ball, just even the team make a play, sometimes you have to play to the ball.
Right, and so you play receiver, defensive back, other returning. So kind of, what's your favorite place to play? Because I'm sure you enjoy playing no matter what you're playing, but I'm sure you have a favorite spot to play. You have all the big field and all those lanes you can read, and obviously that's a game-changing play. You've changed a couple games this year, you changed a couple games last year, and I'm sure it's a different kind of adrenaline rush when you get that chance to take it to the house, hit that hole, and when you run, it's like one step shot out of the cannon. So like, how fun is it to kind of, okay, I get to return kicks with all the space. What play DC's back there or Devontae, someone, and they got to kick to one of you guys.
Yeah. It's really fun, like start with the game, set the tone, come out of half, set the tone in game. Even if I don't get the ball, see my boys out there.
Right.
Block the phone too.
So, who would you say you kind of model your game after? The player you look up to that your whole life and stuff like that?
One player that I really like, my whole life, I would probably say.
Okay, now those are 2 pretty good names. Look, I'm a big Deion fan, so that's a good answer here. But no, and of course, Deion also played both ways, so that's obviously one of those things where, it's very common in high school. So how do you, I know, I talked to Tyron, he does track, and you do track too, right? So how does that help you for your conditioning? Because you're running your route no matter what you're doing.
They help me a lot with football.
We are nobody looked at the first weekend.
And so coming into this game, what do you see from you guys? Expect to see, and things you guys got to execute to get the job done and improve the 3-1 and 1-0 in conference.
I would say do
All right, so heading into next year after you graduate, are you looking to play football in college? So what's your kind of goal for where you're looking for, like, at home?
Yeah.
right? And obviously, you watch it on Saturdays, and you're like, well, this is something that not a lot of people get a chance to do. And so, how has the coaching at Ursuline and growing up, how's it all kind of prepared you to kind of finish your senior season strong with hopefully a state ring and then go to the next level?
I did think that was. I did think it was an interesting choice.
I mean, you have to say that,
I
right?
want to
Because they'll always tell you to do it right, even if you haven't been taught that way. You'll learn something. You'll realize it's right. And you gotta take that advice with your coach. Give you advice, whether it's right or wrong. The coach will.
Sometimes you talk about not just preparing you for football, but preparing you for life, and that's a big spot that a lot of high school coaches should instill, and of course they do at Ursuline. They do a great job there. And so, kind of like, I want to take a step back. But so, how did you get started in football? And I'm sure from a young age. Right. Don't want you getting hurt and all that stuff, but what parent does, right? Right, so lastly, do you have a message for Irish Nation, the fans come out to Stanmont Stadium on Friday night? There you go. Thanks for joining me, Jy'Quise. It's Jy'Quise Liason, Ursuline Receiver, kick returner, defensive back. And we're going to be seeing you Friday night from Stanmont Stadium. Thanks to the Golden Dawn for sponsoring your Ursuline player profile, Jy'Quise Liason.